to the Princess K podcast show. Your host, Princess Kingsman. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a lovely June so far. Okay. So, today I will be talking about the mind. Okay. I mentioned earlier, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, that I was going to speak on the mind. Okay. There's a lot to get through with when it comes to the mind, but I'm just going to break it down. I'm not going to go into too much details. Like I said, I have a time limit. And yet again, excuse my eyes, I'm tired. So, a lot of people think that the mind is here. Okay, we think the mind is where the heart is. In fact, as of a few years ago, I used to think that the heart was like on our left. Was it on our left or right? Okay, and realizing is actually your heart is actually in the middle. So it's either it has moved or we were lied to. Okay, so your heart is in the middle. Okay, your mind is not here. Your mind is, that's where your heart is. Okay, which connects you to the divine. You operate the divine through your heart. Now, here is where your brain is where you think. This is your frontal lobe, which is um, connected with your third eye as well, which is right in front of here. Um, so this is your brain. Okay, a lot of us used to think that our brain is where our mind is. No, this is your brain. Okay, your brain, your head, you get it. You get my drips. This is your chest, your heart. Now, where your mind is, we were actually never taught where our mind is, but our mind is actually above, just a little bit above our crown chakra. So, our crown chakra is, as you know, here. Okay. So, our mind is actually underneath our crown chakra. Okay. This is our mind and this is our crown chakra, if you can see if I'm directing it properly. Okay. Our mind is energetical. There's nothing physical about the mind. The mind is spiritual and the mind is simply energetical. The mind is frequency. It's a radio frequency. It's what you pick up on in the air. Okay. The mind is very powerful, and we have witches and wizards, and let's just say people who are skilled at manipulating energy, sorcerers, mages. They are very skilled in messing with people's minds. That's why you have to be very, very careful. You have to know your mind and you have to be strong. That is why the mind is where they come for you first. They don't come for you anywhere else. It is your mind. Same thing if they want to turn somebody against you, or if they want to turn a loved one or a sibling or anybody against you, it is the mind. They have to get in your mind, not your head, your mind. So your mind is energy, okay? There's nothing physical about that. All of this I'm teaching you, I learned it myself, okay? And this is part of the secrets of the universe. You cannot find it anywhere on Google or ChatGPT. You can argue with me on that one. That's your own business, but you cannot find this online. You can't always find every information online, okay? So because the mind is energy, they can be able to work with it. Just like our energy is aura, our energy is electricity, they can manipulate it. So this is how people mess with other people's minds. They turn their mind upside down. They can really, really mess with somebody's mind to the extent where that person will never be sane again. Yeah. They can mess with your mind. They can turn your mind inside out, upside down, to the extent where you will not know your right from left, your 1 to 10, or you will not know anything. You won't even remember your own name. That's how bad it is. So the mind is energy, and that's why they're able to manipulate it so easily. And that's why you have to get to know your mind. This is why I keep saying, like, the battle starts where the mind is. You have to know your mind 100%. Okay, well, maybe not 100%, but at least you have to know your mind. At least I'd say 50 to 60%. You know your mind. Okay, so they have witches that mess with people's minds. Okay, they mess with people's minds. Sorry. And they manipulate people's minds. They try and make people go insane. They can make you go insane. They can make your mind do anything. Especially if your mind is weak, if you have a weak mind, if there's not much strong barrier. I have a strong barrier when it comes to my mind. You build it while you're fighting mental battles. You have to build it. So if you don't deal with your mind will deal with you. There's a lot of things as we human beings that we've not all dealt with, Obviously, we're all on our own journey, on our own path. But there's a lot of things that we as human beings, we don't deal with, we leave. We bury it so deep down into our mind that we forget that it's even there, our subconscious and our conscious mind. And this is where evil comes to play. Evil entities that use, like I said, sorcerers, people who are good at manipulating people's minds, shifting people's consciousness. You take somebody else's consciousness and put it into another person. We all know this to be in the spotlight and in Hollywood and all this entertainment industry stuff. But I'm simply here to spread awareness. And the awareness I'm trying to spread right now is that the mind is energy. The mind is energy. The mind is not physical. Okay. And not every thought, remember, like I said, not every thought that appears in your mind is yours. Okay, like I said, a lot of people, they project a lot of negative energy, negative thoughts, negative ideation. This is where suicide comes in. Suicide ideation, suicide creation. Some people can send you negative imaginations. They are not your own. They are somebody else's, sending it to your mind. And if you are not aware of your own mind, and if you don't know your own mind very well, like the back of your hand, you will think that it's your thoughts. And I used to think that every thought that fell into my mind was my own thoughts. I used to think, yeah, I'm the one thinking it. But no, it took me a long time to realize that people can project that energy. People can project images. Especially if you're an empath like me that can pick up on energy. You can pick up on energy pretty quick, real quick, and pick up on people's intentions and thoughts. And you need to protect your mind as well, because this is what people do these days. I'm telling you, sorcery, casting spells, spellcasters, witches and wizards, it's the order of the day. Everybody's doing it. 90% of the population is doing it. Everybody's doing it. Every race, every culture, everyone is doing it. So you need to learn to protect your mind. You need to learn to pray over your mind, however, with whatever religion you believe in. You need to learn to take care of your mind. You need to learn to, because you're speaking, all this is coming from a person who has gone to the depths of her mind. I have gone to the depths of my own mind to know what I'm telling you, to know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And the people that don't want these secrets to get out, or the people that don't want what I'm saying to get out, they know what I'm talking about. They know what the fuck I'm talking about. They just don't like that I'm saying it, because they don't want people to be aware. People can make you go crazy. People can make you go insane. People can make you have mental health issues. Not everything is natural, and not everything is your own. Just like not every thought that pops into your mind is your own thoughts. Sometimes you could be picking up somebody's thoughts around you. That's why I said your mind is like a radio, it's an antenna. It picks up energy from the surrounding areas. Okay, it picks up energy like no man's business. It picks up energy. And my mind is always working 24/7. That's why sometimes, like, I am so tapped into spirit, into the other side, I can hardly sleep sometimes, or most of the time I can hardly sleep. Okay, I have to use lavender to sleep. Lavender, frankincense, lemongrass, peppermint, things like that that will relax a body, to really relax, because I'm getting a lot of messages a mile a minute, and there's a lot of things going on in my mind. The mind is a different world of its own. The mind, I think I mentioned this before. The mind has its own mind. Your own mind has its own mind. If you understand what I'm saying, I don't want to confuse you. Your mind has its own mind. That's why your body has a mind of its own. Okay? So that's the small part I can really tell you about the mind. There's a lot that goes into it. But people can mess with your mind. They can mess with your neural system. They can mess with your mind. They can mess with it, and they do. And they have messed with my mind my whole life. Since I was a child, my mind has been messed. My mind has been fucked with. It's been taken inside and out, dissected, disemboweled. It's been separated. It's my mind has been under experiment since I was a child. My mind has been mind fucked. So I know what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm not the type of person that will come on here and speak about something that I don't know about. I do not talk about things that I do not have any information or any experience about. I do not talk about it. So if you email me about a topic, I don't know about it. You understand? I don't know everything. I know most things, at least 70 to 60 to 70 to 80% of things. But like I said, I don't know everything. I don't have the answers to everything, but at least I have the answers to at least most things. And I learned as I went on. When it comes to this mind issue, I learned as I moved on, as I went through life. I learned. I made a lot of mistakes regarding my mind, a lot of mistakes, before I got it right. So if you really want to get to know your mind and go to the depths of your mind, you have to be ready to face all the pain that you have been hiding in that mind of yours. Anything that you're refusing to face, you better find a way to face it, because if you don't, that's exactly what negative people will use. They will mess with your mind, they will mess with your husband's mind, your family's mind, your children's mind. You need to pray, or have a protection over your children's mind, your own mind, when you're sleeping, when you're not. Yeah. So the mind is very dark. Okay, the mind in general, in nature, our mind as a whole is dark. You have to bring light to it. Our mind is naturally dark. So that is why negative entities, they just don't use anybody. They just don't just body hop or attach themselves to just any host. You have your mind has to be at a certain level. And a lot of us, we have low vibrational minds. Very low vibrational. Very, very low. Fear is one of the lowest vibration, and they want you to be afraid so they can control you, and so they can stop you and sabotage you. So my message today is your mind is very, very, very powerful. Watch what you imagine, watch what you think, imagine about people, because it will come back to you, because we are all connected. As much as you want to argue about that, we are all connected. Every one of us is connected. So most of the time when you think you are destroying somebody else's life, or you are doing wickedness to another person, you are really doing it to yourself. You're doing it to you, because we are all connected. What goes around comes around. And when you're helping people, you are really helping yourself. We are all mirrors of each other. Every single one of us is a mirror. Some of us are just not tapped in, or we are not connected, should I say. So my message is, get to know your mind. And the only way you can get to know your mind is if you are in solitude, when you're on your own. When you know your mind, you know yourself. And when you know yourself, you know who source is. You know who the one creature is. You know who the one energy is. Okay? So work on your mind. Protect your mind. Know the power it has. Use it for good. And use it to fight. Because trust me, it will help you. Because like I said, the mind has a power of its own. Okay? And once you can control your mind and you have won over your mind, you can control your life and you have won over your life. I'm telling you. Because anybody that comes in your way, on your path in life, that tries to get in your head, in your mind, tries to manipulate you, they won't even be able to do it, because you know your mind, you know yourself, you know. So you know what you are not and you know what you are. So you're not going to allow anybody to come up to you and say, you are this, you are that, because you know who you are not and you know who you are. So get to know your mind, okay? Because everything in your life flows through it. So you need to really work on your mind. I'm going to do more series about that, but that's just a little that I can talk about, okay? Right. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. I love you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your July, because before you know it, it is August. Time is going real fast. Time waits for no one. So whatever you want to do it quickly. Um, you know, make yourself happy. Don't wait for anybody to make you happy. Don't wait for anybody to come and love you. Love you, make yourself happy. Enjoy every minute of every day. Because all we really have right now is the now. There is no future. The future. There is no future. There is no past. It's just the present where we are right now. So make use of every minute of every day, because the time is going so quick you cannot believe it. So make yourself happy. Look for that joy within. Don't wait for anybody to look for it for you, because you'll be waiting forever. Okay? I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the little notification bell, so it'll give you notifications when I post. So have a lovely rest of your day, and I love you always, and goodbye.